In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NHL games happening on October 14, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Blackhawks versus Montreal Canadiens. The Chicago Blackhawks face the Montreal Canadiens in a matchup between 2 rebuilding teams with high upside. The Blackhawks have split their first 2 games and look like a much improved team after finishing in last place in the Central Division last season. The Canadiens lost their season opening game but earned a point in the 6-5 shootout defeat. Both teams are looking to start the season strong, and the upcoming game should be a good one. Connor Bedard picked up his first goal of his NHL season in the last game, and he's going to look to build on that here. He finished with 6 shots on goal, and it's clear early on this season that he's going to be an X-factor all season. In the first game of the season against the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Blackhawks were able to secure the 4-2 victory. In the last game against the Boston Bruins, the offense wasn't good enough and they ended up losing 3-1. In this game, the offense is going to need to get going early. The Canadiens faced off against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first game of the season, and they scored 5 goals, but they still ended up losing in a shootout. The Canadiens scored 3 goals in the third period to tie up the game, but they couldn't score in the shootout. Alex Newhook finished with 2 goals. Jake Allen faced 42 shots and stopped 37 of them. The 5 goals given up is a lot, but the defense needs to do more to protect Allen. They can't expect him to face 42 shots and not pitch a shootout. The Connor Bedard show enters the historic Bell Center, and while these teams do not have high expectations, it should be a great game. The teams are closely matched, and there is young talent up and down each lineup, so this should be fun. Bedard and the Blackhawks have had an excellent first 2 games, beating the Pittsburgh Penguins and keeping things close with the mighty Boston Bruins. They may continue that stretch of play in this game. However, the Blackhawks showcased that when they scored 5 goals against a good Toronto Maple Leafs team. Even though it was a losing effort, the Canadiens were aggressive and very hard-working. They are also on home ice, which is a major advantage considering the Blackhawks are on the road for their 3rd straight game to start the season. Montreal has also played just once, while Chicago has played twice, so they should be more rested. The Canadiens have much better depth than the Blackhawks and multiple threats, so the Montreal Canadiens money line is our full game side pick. Both offenses have shown flashes, and I see this game being a high-scoring one from the opening puck drop. The Canadiens look to build off a 5-goal game with Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with quick passes. The Blackhawks, who scored 4 goals in their opening night win, should run up the score with Connor Bedard, Jason Dickinson, Ryan Donato, and the rest of the forward unit crashing the net on the rush and overwhelming the Canadiens' defense with speed in all 3 zones to create shooting lanes to easily find the back of the net. This will be a high-scoring game with both offenses stepping up. Nashville Predators versus Boston Bruins. The Nashville Predators and the Boston Bruins are set to face off in a Saturday night showdown that promises to be exciting. The Predators, with a 1-1 record, are looking to make a statement after their recent 3-0 home victory over the Seattle Kraken. On the other side, the Bruins are riding high with a 1-0 record after defeating the Chicago Blackhawks 3-1 in their home opener. Both teams are coming off strong performances and are eager to continue their early season momentum. However, the Bruins have a home ice advantage at TD Garden. The Bruins looked impressive in the first game against the Boston Bruins, and they were able to secure the 3-1 victory. The Bruins gave up a goal in the first period, but the defense really stepped up in the next 2 periods. Linus Ullmark only faced 21 shots on goal, and he saved 20 of them. The offense was led by David Pastrnak, and he finished with 2 goals and 4 shots on goal. Trent Frederic had a goal and 3 shots on goal. In this game, the Bruins defense is going to need to step up in a big way. The Predators sit with a 1-1 record, and they are coming off a victory in the last game. In the first game, the Predators faced off against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they lost 5-3. In the last game against the Seattle Kraken, they were able to secure a 3-0 victory. Juuso Parssinen finished with 1 goal and 3 shots on goal. Juuso stopped all 23 of the shots that he faced. In this game, if the Predators want to secure the victory, the defense is going to need to step up in a big way. The Boston Bruins are back at home after a rather uneventful season opener that saw them secure a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. The Bruins will be hosting the Nashville Predators, who lost their season opener to the Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 5-3. The Bruins' strong defensive play was on full display Wednesday night, as they limited the Blackhawks to just 1 goal on 21 shots directed to the net. This is a continuation of the trend we saw all season long last year. They led the league last year by a wide margin, allowing an average of 2.12 goals against per game. Their solid defensive game is backed by 2 elite goaltenders. It is unclear who will be getting the nod between Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark. However, both are great options. It is hard to argue with the Bruins' track record at TD Garden over the last year, with Wednesday's win giving them 35 wins at home to just 4 losses and 3 ties in their last 42 home regular season games. The Bruins will be matched up with another defensive-minded club on Saturday, as the Predators prefer to grind out wins with a limited offensive arsenal. The Bruins dominated teams last year with an unprecedented offensive output, but that is unlikely this season with several faces gone from that team. The Bruins will likely have backup goalie Jeremy Swayman in net, but don't expect a drop-off in production. The Bruins goalie tandem last year finished first in goals against average and save percentage. The Predators will likely turn to their backup goalie as well, Kevin Lankinen, after Saros played in each of the first 2 games. There is a drop-off in net for the Predators, with Lankinen playing in considerably fewer games for the Predators last season. The Bruins do a much better job than the Predators at limiting shots on goal, which should serve them well again this season. Look for a similar game from Boston that they played on Wednesday night. Hard-checking, defensive-minded, and opportunistic scoring. The Boston Bruins are the clear favorites in this matchup, and the stats back it up. With a season-opening win under their belt, they've already set the pace for a strong season. David Pastrnak, their leading scorer, netted 2 goals in their 3-1 victory over the Blackhawks, showcasing the team's offensive capabilities. On the defensive end, goalie Linus Ullmark had a save percentage of 2-0 of 2-1 shots in the last game, highlighting the Bruins' defensive prowess. The Predators, despite their strong defensive game, have shown weaknesses in their offensive play, converting only 1 of their 7 power play opportunities this season. When you combine the Bruins' home ice advantage at TD Garden with their balanced attack and stout defense, it's hard to see any outcome other than a Bruins victory. So the Boston Bruins to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Nashville does not have any interest in getting in a shootout on Saturday night, while the Bruins don't seem to have the firepower to do so, at least not yet. Both teams will prefer a more grinded-out style game that features dump-ins and heavy forechecking. The Bruins held Chicago to just 21 shots in the opener, and I expect a similar type of output from the Predators on Saturday as well. In addition, both teams are excellent on the penalty kill, with Boston tops in the NHL last year and Nashville finishing a very respectable 6th. The 2 teams also finished in the top 5 in save percentage last season. Both teams have shown strong defensive capabilities in their recent games. The Predators are coming off a shutout, and their penalty kill percentage stands at 2 for 7 this season. The Bruins allowed only 1 goal in their last game and successfully defended all 3 power plays against them. While both teams have the ability to score, their defensive units are likely to be the stars of this matchup. The Predators averaged 3 goals per game this season, and the Bruins scored 3 in their last game. The Predators, outside of a few forwards at the top end of their lineup, do not have a strong forward group. Most of their offense on the season has come from the Ryan O'Reilly trio. Beyond this trio, offense is going to be hard to come by for this Predators team. The Bruins will be able to shut this line down and limit the high-danger scoring opportunities for the rest of the Predators lineup. Look for the Bruins to get out to an early lead at home and then put it into lockdown mode. Given these stats and the defensive strengths of both teams, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Calgary Flames versus Pittsburgh Penguins. The Calgary Flames face the Pittsburgh Penguins in a matchup between 2 teams looking to compete for the Cup after missing the playoffs last season. The Flames finished in 5th place in the Pacific Division last season, but are off to a great start after winning their first game 5-3. The Penguins have a roster built to compete, and they went all in this offseason, but are off to a concerning start, most notably after losing their opening night game 4-2. Both teams look to improve in their divisions, and the upcoming game should be a good one won as a result. The Flames come into this game with a 1-0 record, and they looked good in the first game against the Winnipeg Jets. The offense scored 5 goals against the Winnipeg Jets. Even though they won, the defense did give up 3 goals, and that is something that is going to need to be cleaned up in this game. Andrew Mangiapane had a strong game, finishing with 2 goals and 1 assist. Elias Lindholm also finished with 1 goal and 2 assists. Jacob Markstrom faced 37 goals, and the defense needs to step up more than that. The Penguins might have tired legs, but they are flying high after winning on Friday. The Penguins scored 4 goals against the Washington Capitals, but even more impressive was the defense giving up 0 goals. Evgeny Malkin had a strong game, finishing with 1 goal and 3 assists. Sidney Crosby also had 2 goals and 5 shots on goal. Tristan Jarry only faced 19 shots, but he saved all of them. Firstly, this Flames team is a fresh start from a managerial standpoint, as Craig Conroy steps in as general manager while Ryan Huska takes the reins as head coach. There will be much better vibes in the locker room compared to the Brad Treliving-Daryl Sutter regime. Secondly, the Flames were a really solid team last year, but they just had a ton of bad luck. Calgary finished with 17 overtime shootout losses, lost 30 games by 1 goal, and played in 48 one-goal contests. It's pretty improbable that we see numbers like that again. We already saw the offense get off to a great start on Wednesday as Calgary racked up 5 goals on a respectable netminder in Connor Hellebuyck. Now they'll potentially take on a backup goalie for the Penguins, who are coming off a back-to-back. The Flames have been sitting idle since their 5-3 victory on Wednesday night. The Flames will be well rested and waiting for the Penguins to return from their Friday night matchup against the Washington Capitals. Despite being heavily outshot in their season opener, the Flames managed to escape with a victory. The Flames have much more to offer offensively, and the 3 goals allowed on 37 shots speaks to their solid defensive game and good goaltending. Much of their success this season will be hinging on the performance of goaltender Jacob Markstrom, and Wednesday's game has him off to a great start. If their forward group can maintain the high-scoring pace that they showed us a glimpse of on Wednesday, this team could be a real threat in the Pacific Division. The Penguins, on the other hand, hold the title of being the NHL's oldest team. Although they have 4 future Hall of Famers on their roster, I do not believe back-to-back situations are going to bode well for them this season. This is the situation they will find themselves in on Saturday night. Not only will the players be tired, they will be starting goaltender Alex Nedeljkovic, who struggled last season to say the least. He spent much of the season in the All, and in 15 NHL starts posted a 3.53 goals against average and 0.895 save percentage. Combine Nedeljkovic's shaky goaltending with a tired Penguins group of skaters, and I do not like their chances against a well-rested Flames squad. The Penguins are looking to step up on their home ice, but the Flames are off to a red-hot start and look to control this game from the first period. The Flames, who averaged 3.15 goals per game last season, should find the back of the net at will with Elias Lindholm, Andrew Mangiapane, and the rest of the forward unit establishing a strong offensive zone presence and creating open shots with quick passes to the face-off circles and the slot. The Flames should limit the Penguins' offense with Rasmus Andersson, Mackenzie Weegar, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shooting lanes, allowing goaltender Jacob Markstrom to step up and make plenty of big saves. I am very high on the Flames this season, so the Calgary Flames money line is our full game side pick. The formula is pretty simple for the Penguins this season. They're going to try and outpace teams 6-5 every night. It'll be like watching the Oilers JR, and their offense has a ton of talent to potentially win a bunch of those barn-burning games. Pittsburgh will have a tall task against a solid Jacob Markstrom, but they should be able to tally a few goals and help push this game over. On the flip side, I already mentioned that the Pens will be on the second night of a back-to-back. Honestly, it doesn't matter if it's Tristan Jarry or Alex Nedeljkovic in the net. I think the Flames rack up the goals. The Penguins didn't do much to bolster a pretty weak defensive core. Sure, they added Erik Karlsson, but he's not like a shutdown D-man at this stage of his career. The Penguins should create plenty of scoring chances with Sidney Crosby, Brian Rust, and the rest of the forward unit carrying the puck into the offensive zone and creating open shots with great puck movement, while Chris letting fires shit on the net from the blue line. The Flames look to build off a game where they scored 5 goals and run up the score with Elias Lindholm, Jonathan Huberdeau, Andrew Mangiapane, and the rest of the forward unit crashing the net on the rush and creating open shots with effective puck movement, while defenseman Rasmus Andersson and Mackenzie Weegar generate shots on the net from the point. Both teams are led by their offenses, and the upcoming game should reflect that, with both forward units finding the back of the net from the opening puck drop. This will be a high-scoring game controlled by both offenses. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.